Hello, Denver. Mayor Michael Hancock here. Hope you all are doing well on this so far gray Friday here in Denver, Colorado. It is now time for Friday Mail with the mayor. And we mostly received emails this week, and I just want to go through a few of them with you so that we can address some of your questions and concerns or thoughts that you may have written into my office about this week. First, I'm going to take two at one time. We had John who wrote in thanking me for the Immigrant Day of Action that we sponsored here in the city of Denver, along with many other mayors across the country. He simply said, I believe that now in these uncertain times, that it's very important to communicate to all our neighbors and residents that we value them and to reassure them that we will protect them from unjust intrusions in their lives. On the heels of John's email, we also received one from Marilyn, and she simply was not happy with my decision to be a part or to sponsor the Immigrant Day of Action. She simply said, when will Mayor Hancock realize that Denver is a sanctuary city? We do not need a day to celebrate illegal immigrants. Please reply. I have sent many questions and comments and never received any response, probably because my opinions do not agree with the mayor. First of all, let me thank both John and Marilyn for writing in. It is this type of discourse that I think that across this country we need to have. That allows us to really get to the honest, real root of the challenge. I want to thank John, of course, for agreeing with our position. And to Marilyn, absolutely, you and I are on two different sides of this issue. And that's okay, as long as we are open to have good, honest communication. The Day of Action was a chance to put renewed faces and voices and to elevate and celebrate what I think has made this nation and our state and our city the best in the world. And that is, we have been an open and inclusive community where we welcome folks, whether they're immigrants or refugees, to our city. It is impractical to believe that we're going to deport 11 million people from our country, Maryland. These immigrants, illegal or not, have played a role in helping to elevate Denver to one of the best cities in this country. And what we want to do is to encourage our government, our federal government, to pass legislation that gives us a more comprehensive, practical solution to immigration rather than trying to imply fear and intimidation. And to move people or rip people from their families. We have children who are here, and we simply are advocating for a smarter, more humane approach to the immigration situation that we have. So the press conference that occurred earlier this week was a time for our partners to come together. And as you saw, there were a lot of people there. There are a lot of people who are focused on this issue, pushing for a humane process, but also making sure that our practices and policies here in Denver continue to express and carry forth our values of being an open, inclusive city and one that really believes in the humanity of the people that we are talking about. So thank you both very, very much for writing in. And let me be clear on one point. Some people have written that in believing that Denver is shielding or protecting illegal immigrants who commit crimes in our city. We do not shield criminals in our city, immigrant or not. And we will continue to work with federal agencies who issue warrants to help us to capture and to keep our residents safe. That's first and foremost on all of our minds, is to make sure that we protect the safety and well-being of all Denver residents. But we will not shield criminal immigrants in our city. We haven't done it, and we won't do it. We won't begin to do that going forward. So I just want to make sure that's very clear. And again, thank you both for writing in. Then I received an email from Morgan, and Morgan says, Mayor Hancock, thank you for your service. We need you to do more for our homeless population. We need more equitable housing and support for this vulnerable population. Our homeless need access to restrooms, storage, services, and services to get them back on their feet. Please do your best to serve these people. Morgan, again, the health, safety, and well-being of all of our residents is our #1 priority in the city of Denver. We do have a strategy to deal with the homeless in our city. We have developed a network of outreach and shelter programs in the city of Denver. We're one of the first cities in the country under my administration to foster Office of Behavioral Health to really get at the mental health challenges that many of our most vulnerable residents are dealing with on a regular basis here in our city. Of course, we are investing in transitional housing, and we're just expanding our investment in transitional housing to put people in place while we wrap them with the services necessary to help them reset their lives. And just recently, I announced the Office of Hope, Eric Sullivan was hired, and Eric's job is to bring all of these services together across the continuum from homelessness to housing to help our residents in Denver really access services and programs and make sure we're talking to each other, and also make sure that we're not needlessly wasting resources, but that we're getting the highest, best efficiency from the dollars that we're investing. So we are continuing our efforts to address the issues of homelessness. With regards to storage, it's one of the areas that we are really focused on. We've tried some things in the past, but we are right now buckling down on some ideas in partnership with stakeholders in the homeless community to help us identify how we can do a better job at helping the homeless with their storage. And of course, with restrooms, we do have a mobile restroom program that allows for some restroom facilities to float around the city, particularly where the homeless tend to hang out, so that they have decent amenities to take care of their personal needs. And so we have that program. We're looking to expand it in the future, but know that we are in tune with the issues of restroom and storage challenges with regards to our homeless. So thank you, Morgan, with those ideas. Continue to send in ideas or thoughts you may have with regards to this issue. Secondly, we get a letter, and it didn't have a name on it, but it was about climate change, which the writer says is not a partisan issue. We absolutely agree with you. And we should all want a future with regards to climate change. And I simply couldn't agree with you more. And that's why under our sustainability goals, our 2020 sustainability goals, we're going to maintain our commitment in Denver, Colorado to cut our CO2 emissions by 80% by 2050. We're going to remain committed to making sure that everyone has clean energy to use in the city of Denver, and that we reduce the amount of energy consumed by our buildings in Denver by 20%. And we're looking at a range of strategies. We, of course, care about the cleanliness and the freshness of our water, and the continuation of putting forth all of our sustainability goals. So we're going to stay right there, even though some may reject science around climate change. We do not. We were here when there was a brown cloud, and we're going to stay focused on that. Finally, I got one of the coolest, cutest letters from one of our young citizens in Denver. And this comes from a young man, it could be a young lady, I shouldn't assume, named Capri. And Capri wrote me a long email, but here's the gist of it. It's about dog parks in Denver, and Capri's desire to see dog parks everywhere, and really suggesting some ideas about how we can pop up dog parks everywhere in the city of Denver. Capri, I want to share with you that today we have 9 dog parks throughout the city of Denver. We are planning to open temporary dog parks throughout downtown, particularly around Spear Boulevard, throughout the summer months, so that people can bring their dogs out and continue to allow for our little four-legged friends to enjoy themselves, and, as you say in your letter, to meet other dogs and to socialize and to become friends. We do have future dog parks on the docket. You'll see one at the Carla Madison Rec Center coming, and another one at Barnum Park. And I want you to know that dog parks are not inexpensive. They do run about $250,000 to $300,000 and do require about a half an acre for us to implement a good, healthy program so our dogs can run. And then we have to continue to maintain them. But the onus is on all of us to make sure that we continue to expand our dog park program, and we will. And so I want to thank you for writing in, Capri, and for letting us know about your desire and interest in dog parks. We are right there with you. Continue to love our furry friends. And by the way, yesterday I got a chance to really celebrate Dog Day. What was it called? Dog Day in America? So we want to just want to thank our animal shelter here in Denver, our Denver Municipal Animal Shelter, for bringing in 2 of our furry friends, and want to encourage people to go down and to consider adopting a cat, a dog, or maybe an octopus that we found here in the city. But thank you all for writing in to the mayor's office. Keep them coming. We'll continue to see you almost every Friday to talk about, to read your mail and to try to respond. Thank you for joining us for Friday Mail with the Mayor. Have a great weekend.